I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
I want you to listen to what Candace Owens says right here. I'm going to play 2 clips for you. I'll play it twice, and then we'll play it in context. And you tell me in the comments what you think about it.
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
Okay, so I'll show you the context that she says that I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. There's 2 possible ways you could take that. There may be more, but there's 2 major ways I'm thinking of. Here's the second clip.
Beautiful, powerful words. Charlie had just one wife.
That is just a strange thing to say. I'll show you the context that she said that in too. Why would you have to tell your audience of millions? And this video right here that's entitled, They Are Lying About Charlie Kirk, Candace, episode 235. She's saying that after viewing a video of Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, standing up and giving that very, very strange pro TP USA, pro JD Palantir Vance, pro Donald red flag gun confiscation law Trump. It was all just completely bizarre, in my opinion. So first she says that she is a Mason of TP, one of the Masons of TP USA.
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
And then she says this about Charlie Kirk's wife.
Beautiful, powerful words. Charlie had just one wife.
Charlie had just one wife. Did it ever occur to anyone that he had anything other than one wife? That's just really strange. So here's the context of that second quote.
To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die.
Beautiful, powerful words. Charlie had just one wife. To those of you who think that you are going to...
I don't know why she would say that. Now, here's the context of the Mason quote. And the way I view it, there's 2 ways you could take it. A Mason is just a bricklayer, concrete. You know, it's somebody who just lays bricks, lays foundations. A Mason, a stone worker, if you will. So she's either saying, I'm one of the founders of TPUSA, or she's actually admitting in kind of a backdoor way that she's part of the female version of the Masons, which I've heard over the years, but I've never seen any substantiation for. But here's the context of her saying that.
To those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual, I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop me. Okay. And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages. I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now, don't do it. Okay. Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay. Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged. Now, I'm going to take a pause. We're going to go to some sponsors, and then we're going to get into what we are being told by the agencies. There are definitely some holes. Maybe more is coming out.
Okay, now let me just say something real quick about her sponsors. In this video entitled, They Are Lying About Charlie Kirk, where Candace Owens, the self-proclaimed best friends, or one of the best friends of Charlie Kirk, goes into almost 3 minutes of ad reads. This one right here is for preborn.com. This one right here is for gno.land/Candace. Be sure to get your 20% off order. And this one right here is justthrivehealth.com. She goes into, I think is it 3 minutes? It goes from 2:30 to 5 to 6. Yeah, it's like just shy. It's like 3 minutes of ad reads in the middle of a video that's supposed to be championing the cause of her best dead friend, Charlie Kirk. I'm not even going to tell you what I would or wouldn't do. Let me just ask you, would you be running ads Would you be promoting sponsors if your best friend, somebody you truly love and had a kinship with? I mean, she likens Charlie Kirk to her little brother. Would you be doing ad reads? My jaw was on the floor when I saw this. And this video has 7.2 million views today, and it's only been up for about a day and a half. I don't even know what to say about that. But as far as the Freemasons, there is a female version of Freemasons. There are no female Freemasons, but there is something called the OWF, which is the Order of Women Freemasons, and the HFAF, which is the Honorable Fraternity of Ancient Freemasons. And there's also the Order of the Eastern Star, which are related but separate as far as Freemasons. So I don't know if she meant I'm one of the Masons of TPUSA, as in I'm one of the foundational members, or if she's just in a backdoor way, or maybe front door way, saying that she is a part of this Masonic fraternity that a lot of people are saying control the world. Pretty interesting. And another thing is too, it's backed up with a threat where if you think you're going to put a shill in the place of my Charlie Kirk to be installed as the new leader of TPUSA, you're going to do it over my dead body. And it's this fighting word type of thing that we see with Brandon Tatum, who said this.
I better never hear anybody face to face disparage Charlie in front of me. I better never hear it. I'm going to deck you if I hear you say it in front of me.
If you say words, and we've seen this a lot from the right, from the rightist status. And before we go any further, anybody who's new to my channel, oh, you must be a libtard. The Democrats are just as crazy, more openly, blatantly crazy, insane, even monstrous as the right. It's two wings of the same bird of prey, guys. There's not two parties. It's a uniparty system pretending to be two, so that you, as the slave on the plantation, can think in your mind that you actually have a choice, that you can control the trajectory of your destiny by going to the slave's voting box, so that you can pull that lever and push that button for a psychopathic ruler that you know is lying to you, you know will break their promises, even if they say the best things. This is the biggest psychological operation, the two biggest psychological operations on this earth. If you think the two-party system is anything other than the uniparty system that is controlled by the banking and corporate elite, you don't know what's going on. I will say this in every episode if I have to. We are ruled by people who control the issuance and value of this right here. They control the issuance and value of the currency of every American. And because it's the reserve currency currently, it's teetering on the brink of nothingness. But anybody who trades in this currency, the people who own the issuance and value of this, own the time and laboring energies of every single person who trades this for a value. That is ultimate power. You can't get a higher power than that. The highest power in this world, you would think, would be the Supreme Court after the 1803 court case, Marbury versus Madison, in which the Supreme Court, the black robe tyrants that they are, granted themselves judicial oversight. They granted themselves basically judicial immunity. They gave themselves the power of judicial review, which means, yeah, we've got the Constitution. Yeah, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But we, the priests of the state, the black-robed priests, I mean, the priestly class has to wear robes, right? That makes it all legitimate, doesn't it? We reserve for ourselves the right to interpret with the Bible. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Bible? Interpret with the Holy Book. Oh, did I say Holy Book? Interpret what the Constitution says. You can't interpret it. We interpret it. So when you read shall not be infringed, has the right to keep and bear arms, well, we say there's qualifiers on that. So you would think that the black robe tyrants of the Supreme Court are the supreme law of the land, or you would think that the supreme law, the ultimate authority in this land is the Constitution. I mean, they say it is, right? It's the supreme law of the land. You would think the president of the United States was the ruler or the leader of the free world. I mean, he's the commander in chief of the military industrial complex, right? No, There's a power above that. And just like Alan Greenspan said a couple decades ago, when asked which should the relationship between a Federal Reserve chairman and a president of the United States be, and he said, it doesn't matter what Congress says, doesn't matter what the legislative branch, the executive branch, or the judicial branch says, as long as they agree with what we say regarding monetary policy, it doesn't really matter what the relationship is. And as Amschel Rothschild said, give me control over our nation's money and I care not who makes its laws. We know who the ruler is. So whether you vote for a Barack Obama or a Kamala Harris or a Bill Clinton or a Ronald Reagan or a Richard Nixon or a Donald Trump, guess who remains president? Guess who remains the supreme leader? The people who control the issuance and value of the currency. That's why it was so important on August 15th, 1971, for Nixon to close the gold window, therefore decoupling fiat currency with the precious metals. No longer was your currency on August 15th. By the morning of August 16th, 1971, the dollar was on its own. It was complete fiat, no gold or silver backing. That is very, very important in history, because what Nixon did with that one executive order, with that one edict, is he broke a promise that we made back in 1944 under the Bretton Woods Agreement, where we would peg the US dollar to $35 an ounce gold. That was, boom, out the window. All of a sudden, gold prices surged, went from $35 an ounce to 39 to 43 to 57 to 62 to 250 by 1980. And now what's up? $3,500. The price of gold is artificially suppressed through paper trading. So is silver. I don't know what gold should be right now, but some estimates say $15,000 to $25,000 an ounce, and even more, because there's so much money in circulation, not only in physical bills, but also in ones and zeros in people's bank accounts, because everybody wants to go digital. But this PSYOP continues on all fronts to confuse people, but it really comes back to masking who the real owners of this nation are and what their intentions are. They've got to keep us divided. And the best way to divide the populace is with two major tools in their tool shed. And they bring them out every time, and the recipe works the exact same time every single way, every single day, every single week, every single year, every single news cycle, every single election cycle. It's the Hegelian dialectic: problem, reaction, solution. They create or co-opt a problem, wait for the fear-based reaction, and then step in to provide the pre-planned solution that they had waiting in the wings the whole time. And guess what the solution is? You need more government. You need more laws. But more laws equal less freedom. More laws mean more expenditures, which means we need to extract more wealth from the American tax cattle. We need to extract wealth through tariffs. Tariffs are just a tax on everybody. You and I are suffering from the inflation through tariffs right now. I don't care what you think about Master Mussolini Trump, Mango Mussolini Trump. I don't care what you thought about creepy Uncle Joe Biden. They're all playing for the same team owners. Did you know that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are playing for the same team owners? They're dangling from the same puppet strings. And it's messing with our minds to the point where a Brandon Tatum, conservative Brandon Tatum, wants to punch you in the face and deck you over words. That's how they want to make cheesecake of our minds. Listen to this again.
I better never hear anybody face to face disparage Charlie in front of me. I better never hear it. I'm going to deck you if I hear you say it in front of me.
If you say words, I'm going to knock you out. If you say words, I'm going to commit violence against you. Guess what? That's exactly what Pam Bondi just said. I know she's walked that back, but she walked it back in hypocrisy. Do you really believe anybody who's in Trump's cabinet or who is in Obama's cabinet or Biden's cabinet? Would you believe somebody who's in Kamala Harris's cabinet? Why would you? Politicians are professional liars. That's what they do best. And Brandon Tatum is going to commit violence against you because you said words about his friend that he didn't like? Talk about jettisoning us back to the dark ages. He continues. He's not done.
Just know that I'm going to deck you. You better never disrespect Charlie in front of me. You can say it online. You can say it in front of me. You disrespect Charlie Kirk after he done got shot and killed. I'm not gonna. Hey, Just stay away from me. Just stay away from me. Because you think you're going to be on a show with me. I don't care if I'm on national TV. The last thing you want to do is disrespect Charlie in front of me. That's my red line. You can say whatever you want. You can disagree with what he said.
The implication is my red line is this. If you step across that line with your words, I'm going to step across that line with my fist to your face.
You could disagree with his theology. You could disagree in a professional way. You disparage or make fun of Charlie Kirk's death in front of me. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it. Please don't try me.
Too late. You already said it. You already let the cat out of the bag. Those dogs are already running. And you can't take it back. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. That's why on my other channel, my police accountability channel, here's the deal. I call Brandon Tatum, Brandon Soften Him Up Tatum, because this guy thinks it's okay for a 40, 50-year-old dude to get on top of and straddle and pummel a little kid who was standing on the street trying to freely exchange money in the free market, exchange money for tobacco products. Yeah, it's not a good idea for a 13, 14-year-old stick figure kid to be, involving himself in buying and selling tobacco, but he's not committing a crime. But Brandon Soften Him Up Tatum said it's okay for this guy to straddle him and start beating him in the chest. He's like, he's just softening him up. Those are compliance blows. He's just softening him up. Well, it just so happens the guy who's 40 or 50 years old has a costume on and he calls himself a cop. But I guarantee you, if you saw me doing that to my kid in my own yard, you could rightly identify that as I'm abusing that child. I'm abusing my power. I have failed as a parent, but somehow nobody sees something wrong with an adult beating up a little defenseless kid, putting him in a very compromising position, almost breaking the little kid's twig arms. As long as they come with the authority of the state, as long as they got a legitimate looking badge, they can soften children up. They can abuse children all they want. What the frick is going on here?